When you have no money, say this. So I didn't have any money. I was working really hard in my career. I was a workaholic. I worked all the time. And the first time my wife ever slept over at my house, I told her I needed to wake up at 3 a.m. to get to work. And I was working all the time. Yet I wasn't getting the money flow to come into my life. I started to say this one thing, and my whole life changed. I really believe this is the secret when you have no money and you want money, or you have a little bit of money and you want even more money. Say this one thing to bring more money into your life. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. Make sure you hit the like button on this video right over there on the side, and let's dive right into this one thing to say to make more money come into your life. So I can remember just being frustrated after years of hard work and barely scraping by, just having enough money to rent the room, but my business wasn't ever able to produce more money than to rent a room out of a house. And I was getting frustrated because I was spending so many hours. I was always busy, I was always working, and I was always tired. Now, it's one thing to be really tired from hard work, but it's another thing to be really tired from hard work that you're not being financially compensated for, especially when you've been doing it for multiple years. And so my now wife, Ashley, was in credit card debt because we were just having a really difficult time with me having consistent income coming in from my writing and my speaking. And I was listening to Steve Jobs, his autobiography or biographical book, and in the book he said something that just blew my mind. He said that he would always tell himself that he was the exception to every rule. Like, that's what the biographer says, that Steve Jobs actually believed he was the exception to every rule. In the worst case scenarios, he would, he never had a license plate on his car, and he'd regularly drive, 120, 130 on the freeways through San Francisco, and he'd get pulled over, and he would just be like, all right, I'm gonna do this again next time. That was his really arrogant, a little over the top of I'm the exception to every rule. But it hit me because in reality, he was the exception to every rule, and that's what made him successful. And if you think about it, if you don't believe you're the exception to every rule, you will always be just another statistic. Because think about it, we are programmed, you are programmed to fit in. But think about the statistics. 75% of people, according to the Gallup polls, said they are actively disengaged from their jobs. That's a politically correct way to say, I do not like doing this. So 75% of people don't like what they do for a living. Guess what else? 75% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. 9 out of 10 people die with less than $10,000 and virtually no financial assets. Almost every single person seems to be in pretty severe debt. This is a statistic where if you blend into the rest of the population, you are not going to be able to attract money. Now, I realized that you and I are programmed to believe certain things about money that block you from getting the money that you want. So before I share that with you, comment down below, I am the exception to every rule. I am financially free. Comment down below, I am the exception to every rule. I am financially free. I am the exception to every rule. I am financially free. I see, when I heard that and I was listening to it on an audiobook, I vividly remember when I actually heard the part. I was in a house I lived in, it was 5 years ago in San Diego, and I was cleaning the kitchen. And I had the headphones in and I was listening to the audiobook. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I realized that I've thought that I'm subject to every rule, but Steve Jobs is saying he was the exception to every rule. If you believe that you are the exception to every rule, then you can break out of all your financial situations. So it hits me, big aha moment, and I realize, okay, all the rules that I thought I was subject to are blocking the money that I want. So for example, me in my personal life, I was 19, I dropped out of college. So I thought that first of all, I thought I was too young to be successful, because I was 21 when my first book actually came out. I wrote it when I was 20. All the publishers said no, so I had to self-publish that first book. And I was out on the road speaking, selling the book at farmers markets, cafes, any place in the entire world that would let me talk. I'd go talk at it for free or paid and try to sell my book for anything that I could get for it. If you didn't have 10 bucks to buy my book, dude, as long as you gave me a shoe or something in return, you gave me like a flower, anything you gave me, I'd pretty much sell you my book for anything. And so I was on the road like that, and I realized I thought I was too young. So there's no such thing as being too old or too young, especially when it comes to success. Money does not care what your bank teller doesn't say, "How old are you, sir?" No, they don't do that. So age has nothing to do with it. Your dreams have no expiration date. Your dreams have no expiration date. You are not too old and you are not too young. That was my first one. I didn't really realize that I had. The second one was that I thought that I wasn't smart enough. So I failed junior English class in high school, and then I was eventually becoming an author. I didn't do good on my SATs or my ACTs. I was just a C student. I had prescription for Adderall and ADD, ADHD medication in high school because I couldn't focus, and it was this big thing because I would spend all this time and I'd study for things and I would do really bad on them, and then I started getting all this anxiety and I couldn't concentrate and I couldn't focus. So they told me that I had concentration problems, ADD and ADHD. So I had built up this whole story based off of rules. And these rules were actually the grave that I dug for myself financially. And I didn't ever know that. And so I realized eventually that the things I was saying about myself, the things that I was saying about money, were actually blocking the money, the success from coming into my life. It didn't matter how many hours I worked. If I didn't change my fundamental belief system about what was possible, I was never going to attract money into my life, because your bank account is a result of your perception of yourself. Your bank account is a result of your perception of reality. So comment down below, "I am the exception to every rule. I am financially free." Comment down below, "I am the exception to every rule. I am financially free." Start saying that today. Like, who here that's watching this video is actually going to memorize that? Because a lot of people are going to listen to it and they're going to say, "Stop telling me to comment. Just, I want to make sure that you leave this video and you say this to yourself another 50 times. "I am the exception to every rule. I'm financially free." Doesn't it feel good? I'm the exception to every rule. I'm financially free. So in conclusion, I'm inviting you to ask yourself, what are the rules that you've created for yourself that you thought were normal, you thought they were natural, you thought they were realistic? As the famous actor Will Smith once said, "It is unrealistic to walk into the room and flip a switch and make the lights come on." Fortunately, Edison didn't think so. It is unrealistic to bend a piece of metal and fly it over the ocean and get to Australia or New York or wherever you're trying to go. It's unrealistic to do that. Fortunately, the Wright brothers didn't think so. Now, what I'm asking you to do is think of what the unconscious, the habitual, the limiting subconscious beliefs that are realistic, that you think are the rules. Maybe you think you're too old, you're too young, you're not qualified, you didn't go to the right school, you don't have the right resources, you've never had a workout before, you're not very good with numbers, blah, blah, whatever it is. What is it? I'm inviting you to bring it to your forefront, because when you bring it to your own awareness, you can be free from it and realize it's just a subconscious program that you've inherited from society. And now you're remembering the truth. Your consciousness creates reality. You are the exception to every rule. You are financially free. There's more money printed every single day. It's never been a better time in human history to ever be alive. Think about it. It's never been easier to have financial freedom. The world of connectivity, the world of the internet, there's more money printed every single day. Interest rates are so low that money's basically free. Like, it's never been a better time in human history to be alive. But you got to take a step onto the other side, and you have to try out looking at this world as an optimistic world, as a friendly universe. You live in a friendly universe. You are good enough, you are smart enough, the money will come, but you have to start to believe that you can do it. If you just think that you're controlled by all of these outside influences and rules that seem so realistic, that lack and limitation will always reflect itself in your bank account. But if you realize right now you're the exception to every rule, that you are financially free, you are happy, you are healthy, you are wealthy, that large sums of money come into your life quickly and easily, you're going to start to expand your mind. New ideas are going to come to you. You're going to attract new people. New opportunities are going to present themselves because your perception is starting to shift. When you believe you're the exception to every rule, you believe financial miracles can come into your life. You believe that you can come up with good ideas, great prosperous business opportunities. You believe that you'll come up with the right resources, the right mentors, the right clients, that it will all show itself, that you don't need to know how will everything work out. You don't need to know how everything will work out. You just have to remember what Martin Luther King once said. You don't need to be able to see the whole staircase to take the first step. And the first step is to start to see yourself as the exception to every rule, that you are financially free. So comment down below, I am financially free. Comment down below, I am financially free. So thank you for watching this video. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. Right over there on the side is a like button. So if you go ahead and hit the like button right over there, that's what sends us out into the YouTube universe so more people actually see these videos. So make sure you hit the like button. It's right over there on the side. And then right over there is the subscribe and the bell notification. It's somewhere near the candle over there. And the bell notification is what notifies you for new videos. Even if you're already subscribed, double check you've actually hit the bell notification. Otherwise, you're not going to get notified for new videos, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. If you're still here, right there down below is my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com. It's right there down below, pinned to the comments. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's right there down below. That's my free success hypnosis. Over 700,000 people from all over the world have used it, and every single day I get these amazing success stories of people that miraculously brought more money into their life, or they attracted a new opportunity, or they got a promotion out of nowhere. All these really cool things happen. And you can use it as well, it's free. All that I ask is that you come back and you tell me all the amazing things that show up in your life when you start to use it. So it's right there down below, it's jakeshypnosis.com, pinned to the comments. Just come back and leave a comment and let me know of the amazing things that occur in your life when you use it. So hypnotize yourself, brainwash yourself for success before the world brainwashes you to be average. Remember, you are the exception to every single rule. You are financially free.